Indian folk art is the artistic expression of the indigenous people of a region. It is about their environment, their faith, and their joys. It is a legacy left as a tradition of future generations to follow.
Namaskar, my name is Shivali Mathur. I'm an artist, art educator, and a co-founder of Strokearts Studio in Singapore. I'm pleased to share today with you my journey with Indian folk art and what drove me to pursue it as a professional artist. I started my art journey during childhood. My father's regional role gave our family opportunities to reside in different states within India. Growing up, my sibling and I attended art camps every summer. So I got a chance to learn Madhubani art in Patna, Warli art in Mumbai, and miniature and third art in Rajasthan. Learning from the local artists from where these art forms originated, it helped me build a connection to Indian folk art. It inspired me to pursue art. The simplicity of Indian folk art, the vibrancy of colors, the subject, and the relatability of the art. These factors drew me towards these art forms. I like to experiment with different mediums and style to create contemporary art that shows the influence of folk art. Singapore is a diverse and multicultural society. Bringing Indian art was not as common around 17 years ago. I got an opportunity to participate in South Asian art exhibition hosted by the Temple of Fine Art in Singapore. And this experience brought to light the potential of Indian folk art in a global environment. I started professional art journey with my exhibition and workshop in Singapore. It was based on Indian art for the Indian Tourism Board in 2006. This marked the start of teaching Indian art and folk art. I started with co-curriculum activity session at Global Indian School and at the Singapore Management University in 2008 and 9. This was the first of a kind of introducing Indian art in an educational context. In 2014, I co-founded Strokearts Studio with the vision to create an awareness and appreciation of visual art, especially folk art styles. We have been conducting workshops, exhibitions, community events, classes, and lectures. Folk art painting is a utilitarian style. The art is a product of culture and involvement within the community. The paintings are a medium of visual expression by people of a region and have a distinct painting style that are unique to the region. Traditionally, it can be created in two ways. A wall painting, which is known as a Bhiti Chitra, and a canvas painting is known as a Patachitra. There are many folk art practiced throughout India. There is Madhubani, Warli, Gond, Phad, to name a few. I would like to share a few of the key events have been key raising awareness and appreciation of Indian folk art in Singapore. My first big exhibition with a co-artist which garnered a lot of positive praise was Madhubani visual narrative of the Ramayana. Madhubani painting is a well-recognized art form practiced in Mithila region of Bihar and Nepal. It is called Mithila or Madhubani art. The paintings usually depict auspicious symbolic images of celebratory events, like a wedding or a festival. Then my study tour to Ajanta Cave with my fellow artists was truly an enriching journey. It was an inspiration to explore the beautiful mural art of Ajanta Cave. These are the masterpieces of the Buddhist religious art that influenced Indian art that followed. This became the theme of our second exhibition. Narrative of the stories of two princes, Prince Siddhartha, who came to be known as a Buddha, and Rama, whose story came to be known as a Ramayana. The story about these two princes originated in India, and these stories have a presence in many South Asian countries. Strokearts Studio got an opportunity to participate in an annual Kalautsavam event. In 2016, Kalautsavam theme was Warli folk art. We created a mural using Warli art. We had student volunteers from the community to help complete the art pieces. We also created an appreciation of Warli art amongst the younger generation through workshops in local schools here. Warli painting are a tribal painting, originated from western region of India, Maharashtra. The name Warli comes from the word Varal, which means a piece of agricultural land or a field. This art reflects their life and environment. This art form is a wall painting or a bhiti chitra. It is a monochromatic painting created using rice paste on a brown mud wall. It is mainly to celebrate major events and festivals. Further, we introduce Gond art, folk art of Madhya Pradesh, in cultural feast organized by Indian Heritage Center, Singapore. We prepared activities around Gond art for visitors to try. Gond art has its origin in central region of India, especially the state of Madhya Pradesh. It is a form of art that is practiced by tribal people of the forest region of central India. Hence, the most common theme of the art form is a scene of the forest with animal, flower, and trees. A strong element of every painting is the narration of a mystical story. Another milestone in the recognition of folk art was the participation in President Charity Art Exhibition, where we showcased a Madhubani painting, and one from the Ajanta series painting was featured on the postal stamp in Singapore. So over the years, what comes to attention is the lack of material available on Indian folk art. We often have students requesting for information or sources to learn more. This led to a journey very close to my heart. I co-authored a book on Indian folk art painting. The book was launched in Singapore and India at the Jaipur Art Summit Festival. It introduced the background, technique, and the significance of different Indian folk art forms. This journey made clear the need to educate people about Indian folk art. As artist and educator, we need to ensure we teach history of Indian folk art so they can appreciate these art forms and also help with the preservation of these art forms. Indian folk art is a community art. Community art is the art for and by the group of people. For example, people who live in a neighborhood or people who belongs to a social group. Community art by nature is inclusive. It is an engagement in art activities which all members of a group are invited to, irrespective of their skill level. Through shared passions and common experience, art activities bring people together. Introduction of different art forms in community events and involving them through workshop is another medium for connecting people through art. Toran display is the recent example of a community art in a related area. This entered into Singapore Book of Records for making longest handmade toran through community effort. Art is a part of life. It gives you a sense of belonging. Being connected to any art form is a legitimate way to combat your stress. It is therapeutic. I would encourage everyone to take time to explore and experience art. Now, I would like to thank Mr. Shailendra Bhaji, founder of Jaipur Art Summit and Awaadh Art Festival for initiating this video. Thank you. Namaskar.